Ahora sí, tell me un poquito más.
One of the things that caught me by surprise right now that you mentioned the loss of your sister Jenni is como en el libro habla sobre que ustedes quisieron ir a esa montaña. Estabas embarazada.
I love that you read the book. Do you know so many like people don't before an interview? So I'm just like, I love her so much.
I mean, I would not be able to talk about something that I don't believe in, that hasn't personally touched me.
I love you so much. Yeah,
no, that book is a blessing. De verdad que es una bendición. Y me tomó por sorpresa porque yo estaba esperando otra cosa. O sea, you build it up y dices, íbamos a la montaña. Estábamos toda la familia después de horas de escalar. Yo embarazada. I got through it. Y en ese momento sentí paz. And I'm like, what?
It
like
shook
you
me
saw,
too.
Tú viste pedazos. Oh, I got the chills. Viste pedazos del avión. Viste some of her belongings. De alguien que era tu mejor amiga, tu confidente. It's your sister. I have a sister.
It was disaster. It
So,
was, yeah.
Peace.
It
like,
surprised me. It
What?
really did. Yo esperaba sentir todas las emociones, tristeza, todo menos paz. And I was listening to worship music, me estaba preparando, like, man, I'm going to fall apart here and I'm just going to like want to die. And, and estaba escuchando Hillsong and I'll never forget, la canción se llama Aftermath.
Te iba a preguntar la canción
Yeah,
para todos.
después de After Everything, this is, and it's such a peaceful song. And I think the Holy Spirit was guiding me there. Y me dice, the reason I felt peace was because he said, I rescued her. This doesn't look like a rescue mission, but it was a rescue mission. I rescued her from her own thoughts and her own, that battle got too big for her. So that, and Jenni is Jenni and she's unbreakable, but she's human. Right. She was human. And so when it got to a point where the battle was too big, he said, let's go. I think she was going through something so tough in her life, emotionally, that she, for the first time ever, told me, sister, I think I'm going to break. And I said, you won't. You won't. But she felt she was. And God knows better. Y aún en ese momento, viendo desastre, dolor, con todo el dolor que yo sentía como hermana perderla, I love her so much that her being rescued is better. Right. Like, so even now, 8 years later, que han pasado tantas cosas, that so much happened in the family, that we're not the family that we were much more united before. And there's been great success, but there's been such great pain. A veces digo, I trust you, God. Like, I'm glad she doesn't have to see or feel some of this. And that's what I feel. Like, God knew when was time to take her away, and that helped me deal with the death.
Right. And God also knew what you needed. God, that's what's so beautiful. God knows us so well, because not everyone is going to have to go to the mountain and see those plain pieces, those belongings of hers. But God knows you so well that he's like, Rosie, lo que ella necesita, lo que su corazón necesita es esto.
Yeah.
Y tú pensaste que tú ibas a esa montaña, quizá, I don't know, I don't know what you felt.
I think I needed to know that it was real. Because I didn't get to see her body. And so maybe in my lack of acceptance, denial is one of the grieving stages. Y tal vez yo lo tuve que ver. Pero, por ejemplo, su hijo Mikey is like, no, I would never want to go there, right? And that's okay. So, todos en nuestro proceso in grieving or healing or letting God be our defender, si nos permitiéramos la libertad to say, Mikey would never have to go, but Rosie does, and both are right.
Right.
And that's it. Let it be. Sometimes we want to control people and say, do it my way. Everyone has to go to the mountain.
My way's the right way.
And that would hurt Mikey, where with me, I got to see, okay, Jenni did leave. Porque cuando algo se pierde, that's the first call I got. Jenni's plane is lost. Yo me quedé con, pues algo perdido se puede encontrar. So Jesus, find Jenni. Right. Where is she? So I had to see with my eyes and say, okay, and then allow God to deal with me. Pero yo iba con una mente abierta de, God, you show me what you want me to see. And and what you don't want me to see, I won't. So I didn't see any body parts because 2 of my brothers did. And I don't know how they can deal with that. You know, like it's so much more. So God, again, won't show you something that he won't reveal something he's not going to heal or isn't ready to heal, or you're not ready to allow to heal. So for me, it was, this really happened. Because it was really like, she's gonna come back any minute. She's on a show. She went to go sing.
Call, like, what up,
and so I needed to see it and allow God to heal it and really believe that he can heal it. And he has. Surprisingly, a lot of people that when we deal with death, we feel this is never going to go away. I'm just going to live with this pain the rest of my life. And I'm like, you know what, Jesus? I don't want to. I don't want to live with this pain the rest of my life. I can love her and miss her without feeling this sense of death on me. And he did. But it's really because I believed he could.
Right. So for that person, I mean, these have been trying times, 2020, 2021, for people who are maybe going through grief, who have lost a loved one. What advice would you have for them?
The 2021 is just as important as 2020, because 2020 was the losing years in sense of losing loved ones. 2021 is facing that loss. You're going to go through your first Mother's Day without her. You're going to go through the first birthday. Those firsts are so painful. You will feel like a zombie, like you are not even 100% aware and you want to feel everything. I would ask you to allow yourself to only feel what you're feeling. Don't ask for more. Don't ask for more joy or more sadness out of self-punishment. In fact, have mercy on yourself and on other people. The one mistake we made, I say we, the Rivera family, is that we did not have mercy on each other. If one of us, in our anger, in our pain, in our confusion, made a mistake, we had to let each other know. Oh, you should have done this. Or you should honor her like this. You should not. We were so full of anger that it became self-righteousness. And sometimes when you lose that much, you become entitled. Oh, the world owes me. The world owes us nothing. Like nothing. Everyone suffers. Everyone's going to go through death. Everyone's going to go through a hurt. And Christ already did everything on the cross. And I wish my family, including me, had more mercy on each other. If Mikey never wants to even talk about the death, then allow him to. Don't make, I think we are so self-righteous in saying, you have to do it my way. You have to know my feelings. You have to understand me. Have mercy and grace and just say, okay, if that's the way you want to do it, it is okay.
I respect you.
And then you don't burn bridges. You don't cause anger, because things will change in a year or two. But that anger you guys felt will take so long to heal. It'll be like, but you told me in the worst moment of my life that I was dumb. I'll never forget it. Like, don't make those vows. Just let it go. Don't hold on to things, because 8 years later, there is still damage that we all did from the first year that I'm like, God, I wish, please. And not I wish, Lord, go back and restore that, because only you can. And so that our family can continue to clean up, heal, restore after that aftermath. Now it's not Jenni that's there in that site of ruins. It's our family. It's us, and only Christ can restore it. And I know he will, but I wish we had more mercy and grace on each other.
Yeah, no, that is powerful. It's not always the way I want or the way I view things. It's respecting each other, and how can we be there for each other at the end of the day. I feel like that should be the mentality, but it's not easy, right? It's not humanly, and it's just, we have to go to God. We have to trust God through that process. So I
went to grief counseling. I know we're going to go, but when you said go to God, I didn't even know how to go to God. I'm the one that wasn't talking to him, right? But someone me dio un consejo, y toma consejos, aunque aunque si tu mente no puede, ve a alguien más que ya ha pasado por ahí. Sí. Yo tuve una amiga que su papá se murió a los 7 años, mi mejor amiga. Yo fui y le pregunté a ella, ¿nos mudamos? ¿No nos mudamos? ¿Dejamos todo igual? Y ella en su experiencia me dijo, esto es lo mejor, take him to grief counseling. Y yo fui a grief counseling porque yo ya no podía ver a Dios. Y fui con alguien que me podía guiar a él. And so grief counseling helps so much. And you don't have to go forever. Just get the tools and then come back if you have to later. But but again, most of Jenni's kids didn't want to do grief counseling. So I said, okay, sitting in front of someone is not his or her thing. So I just found things that were, or they found them. And it was painting, and it was singing, and it was working, and though that was their type of grief counseling. So even in grief, it's different. Just allow, pray that something comes into their life that allows them to vent out those feelings.
Y dices algo que es tan importante que muchas veces nosotros no sabemos lo que no sabemos. Entonces, si es tu primera vez pasando por algo, es eso de la vulnerability, de saber, bueno, no sé si yo sé cómo manejar esta situación. Acudo a alguien de confianza, a una amistad que ha pasado por algo similar para ver qué hicieron ellos. Entonces, un grief counselor, a lo mejor tú no sabías que eso existía o que que era una... Exacto, entonces eso es muy importante, always be open, y es parte de la humildad también, de yo no lo sé todo, tengo que rodearme de personas en las cuales yo confío, a las que puedo acudir durante momentos difíciles para tener la mente abierta a sus consejos, siempre y cuando obviamente nuestro número uno va a ser Dios, ¿no? Pero Dios también nos pide, como habíamos hablado, tomar esos pasos prácticos. Yo te estoy ayudando, pero tú también. Ayúdate a ti y ayúdame a mí, y vamos en esto de la mano.
Yeah, exactly. He's so good que aún los da la oportunidad. Get me? Like, because if the rocks...
Because that's how we learn. Yeah. That's how we grow. O sea, no ha sido fácil, pero mira la increíble persona que eres el día de hoy. Dios te está usando de maneras tan hermosas, y Dios sabía que habían ciertas cualidades, character building, que Él estaba haciendo durante todo esto. Dios toma los momentos difíciles, las dificultades, y los transforma, y si nosotros lo permitimos, nos transforma a nosotros, y a ti hoy en día te está usando de maneras que estoy segura que tú en un momento ni te imaginabas, y dices tú, Dios,
wow.
No ha sido fácil, pero gracias por usar esto y por dejarme a mí ser abierta a lo que tú querías para mi vida, y esto es solo el comienzo.
Yeah, exactly. Un Netflix show que la vida de mi hermana, de mis hermanos, que hablar del abuso sexual, que yo había jurado nunca hablar de él. Cuando abrí la puerta y dije, okay, Jesus, if you want me to, for them, I will. Like, for them as in other girls like me. Y pensar que está en una plataforma tan importante, tan disponible para muchas personas, is an honor. I'm like, whoa. Porque ahí es cuando siento que vamos de víctima a victoriosa. Like, en decir, ahora yo estoy en un lugar, gracias a Dios, gracias al proceso, gracias a la comunidad que me apoyó, de ahora levantar a alguien más. And that is when it's worth it for me. That is when it's really like, I can't thank God for the sexual abuse. What I do thank for him is that he was there with me, is that he had patience, que me amó, que me mostró, que me enseñó. Pero tampoco digo que el abuso sexual me hizo más fuerte. I already was strong. Yeah. My strength came out in what I needed him to. And when I was weak, God was strong for me. So those are the things that I thank him for. Y lo mínimo que puedo hacer es ayudar a alguien más a salir. And that's what I live for. And I'm so grateful that he allows me to, because I've messed up so much along the way that I feel honored that he would still trust me to be like, pero aunque tú fallaste en esto, like, ve ayuda a alguien más a no cometer el mismo error o a sanar o a salir adelante, because he could do it without me. He has angels that he could, right? The rocks can worship him. So just the fact that que él me permite estar en el proceso con él, para mí I feel like that's when I'm thriving.
Right. No, and you are. You are. We see it, we feel it, and the other side of it is él te permite, pero porque tú también lo permites a él. He trusts you because you trust him.
Oh, I love it.
And I think it's equally as important. We have to be willing to let God work in us and work through us, porque si dejamos que nuestro ego, que nuestra falta de humildad, que nuestro yo lo sé todo no nos permita aprender lo que Dios quiere que aprendamos durante ese momento, o hacer lo que Dios quiere hacer en ese momento. Dios sabe lo que Él quiere hacer. Entonces, nosotros mismos nos limitamos de todo lo que Dios quiere hacer con nosotros y en nosotros. Y tenemos la bendición de que tú seas una bendición para nosotros. Lo eres para mí, lo eres para muchas personas que quizá estén pasando por alguna de estas experiencias que tú dijiste. Tu vulnerabilidad te ha empoderado a ti, pero también empodera a muchas personas que quizá no están ahorita en esa fase de poder ser vulnerables, pero al escucharte a ti y decir, ella pudo, ellos pueden decir, yo también puedo, y yo también voy a poder, también voy a poder. Entonces es una gran bendición, Rosie. Muchísimas gracias, muchísimas gracias por escuchar a Dios, por darnos este libro. Dios es tu defensor. God is your defender. This book that it's a guide. I look at it as a guide to go through the healing process and trust God through it. And you make it so simple for us because we don't have to Google what Bible verse helps me deal with my thoughts of revenge.
Yes.
What Bible verse? No, you put the Bible verse.
Yeah.
You put all of the stories from the Bible that apply to the difficulties that we're facing. So thank you for blessing us with that. Muchas gracias por bendecirnos con este libro, que yo lo veo como una guía durante este proceso que nos facilita mucho, como estaba diciendo en inglés, de que muchas veces uno dice, ¿qué hago con mis pensamientos de venganza? ¿Dónde en la Biblia dice qué escritura puedo leer? ¿Qué verso puedo leer? Y tú no lo facilitas porque tú ahí mismo lo pones. Tú nos cuentas las historias de la Biblia que quizás son similares a lo que estamos pasando en ese momento, y nos haces preguntas. Amé el libro. Yo sé que todos lo van a amar, y gracias.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I got to talk to you because I was nervous. Like, tú creas algo and then you're like, are people gonna like it? I was so scared. So I really take your opinion in high regard. I think you're so smart and so beautiful and so vulnerable, and so many things about you. Y se ve en tu familia. Like, if you guys could just meet her beautiful family. You are a fruit of your mom's womb, and your mom's womb gives good fruit. So the fact that coming from you, I'm like, it is a good book then. Yes. So thanks.
It's a great book. I'm not gonna lie. Avión, me encantó porque tú, en tu manera de escribes como que, y yo quería hacer eso. O sea, como pensamientos que son tan exactos que pasamos durante un momento, como que cuando hablas de que yo no le quería cocinar a mi esposo porque él no limpió el garage. Y entonces como que, para que sepa lo que se siente.
Para que aprenda.
Para que aprenda. Entonces son como detallitos que uno muchas veces dice, I feel attacked because that's me.
How is she in my head?
How do you know I do that?
Because I do. Hasta la fecha, God will have to remind me, you are not his teacher. Yeah. You are his wife. You are his helper. Like, okay.
But it's comforting to
we're not alone, right?
We're not alone. Que Rosie también tiene esos pensamientos.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, in something. And that's what's beautiful about being vulnerable. Es que puedes ver, ¿tú también lo pensabas? Okay. No soy la única sola, loca, triste. It's like, that's why it felt good that David in sus salmos escribía, I hope he dies. And you're like, whoa, I thought that too. Oh my God, I'm not that horrible.
Okay.
Okay, it's not a great thought, and later God would tell him, hey, trust in me. But it's like, okay, but I'm not like crazy, abnormal, evil. It's taking control of those thoughts. And so for me, it helps that I have friends that are like, I thought that too, and this is how I got over it. Okay,
Okay.
If it helps you to think like Rosie's crazy, girl, then I hope it helps you. And I am, and Jesus helps me.
I'm not gonna lie, it does help me to know. No, just kidding. No, but it is. It's comforting.
Yeah.
It is comforting. So thank you so much. Where can people find the book?
So it's on all the platforms, thank God, whether it's Amazon or Barnes & Noble, Sams.com. Está en todos los países en Latinoamérica. Like, I'm so happy. Si quieres una probadita del libro, puedes ir a YouVersion y tener el devocional en español y en inglés. It's 5 days, and you literally get like parts of the book. So 5 days, YouVersion, God is your defender, Dios es tu defensor. Or you can go to godisyourdefender.com, diosestudefensor.com, y ahí puedes comprar el libro.
No hay excusas, no tenemos excusas.
It's everywhere.
It is everywhere. El devocional también
Sí.
me fascinó, es de bendición. Un devocional creo que es la manera como más fácil de dejar a Dios tomar el control en nuestro día. Yo me despierto, abro el Bible app, abro los planes y es como que, ok, es súper fácil, no tengo que pensar.
Right.
Voy al día 1, día 2, literalmente se los separa por día con el devocional y con los versículos de la Biblia que van con el devocional.
Right. Y a veces no sabemos cómo leer la Biblia. Like, I went to Bible school, Bible college, pero antes de eso, it was like, well, how do you even...
It's a lot.
Y un devocional, ya sea el mío o muchísimos buenos que hay, can kind of give you that like, oh, this is how I can use it in my life. Así lo puedo utilizar este versículo en mi Biblia, en mi vida. So, un devocional es una forma perfecta de like snacking, de like eating the word. That's how I think of them.
Yes, no, it's a blessing. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being with us, for this beautiful conversation, for your friendship, for your mentorship. Now you're mentoring the world, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.